For decades, Saudi Aramco powered nations, fueled industries, and became the backbone of global energy. Its oil built cities, its profits built a kingdom, and its emissions, well, they helped define the very problem we're now trying to solve. But something interesting is happening. The same company that shaped the fossil fuel era is now talking about the energy transition, not just in press releases, but in strategy. From carbon capture and storage, to hydrogen mobility, to nature-based solutions like planting millions of mangroves along Saudi coasts, Aramco isn't just trying to survive a renewable future, it's trying to help shape it. But can the world's biggest oil company really go green? Or is this just a cleaner shade of oil? For decades, Aramco has been synonymous with oil. At its peak, it produced over 10 million barrels a day, making it the most profitable company in the world. But that success has come with a cost: carbon emissions, methane leaks, and oil spills. Today, mounting pressure from investors, governments, and global markets is forcing even oil giants to change course. It's not just Aramco. Across the world, the energy giants that once dominated oil are reinventing themselves. BP has pledged to cut its oil output by 25% by 2030. Shell is investing billions into offshore wind. ExxonMobil, once a symbol of resistance to climate reform, is now betting on carbon capture and lithium extraction. Together, these moves mark a seismic shift. The same companies that powered the fossil fuel age are now racing to define the clean energy one. And Aramco, sitting on the world's largest proven oil reserves, may be the most closely watched of them all. Many people think renewable energy is the playground of startups and clean tech newcomers. But Aramco, a legacy oil titan, is now joining the race too. They've already taken a 30% stake in the 1.5 gigawatt Sudair solar project, one of the largest in the Middle East. They're also part of an $8 billion renewables program with ACWA Power and Badil, targeting 15 gigawatts of new capacity across Saudi Arabia. And it doesn't stop there. They even bought 10% of Horse Powertrain, a joint venture between Renault and Geely, to develop hybrid and cleaner mobility engines. Renewables aren't just for new players. Even the world's biggest oil company wants in. One of Aramco's biggest bets is hydrogen, especially blue hydrogen, made from natural gas with carbon capture. Aramco recently acquired 50% of a blue hydrogen company in Jubail with Air Products Qudra, a clear bet on lower carbon industrial hydrogen. In 2022, Aramco shipped its first test cargo of blue ammonia to Japan, a sign of what future global trade in hydrogen could look like. The company says hydrogen could eventually replace oil in industries like shipping, power generation, and even aviation. While critics argue blue hydrogen still relies on fossil fuels, Aramco sees it as a bridge, a way to monetize gas while cutting carbon intensity until green hydrogen becomes affordable at scale. Aramco is also making its existing oil and gas operations cleaner. The company now captures over 50 billion standard cubic feet of gas that would have been wasted, helping achieve near-zero flaring across many sites. They're deploying AI-driven subsurface analysis to optimize gas production and reduce energy loss, while piloting vanadium flow batteries to store renewable power in remote fields. These aren't headline-grabbing solar farms, but they're key steps in cutting emissions from inside the industry itself. Aramco calls this its energy, mobility, and materials transition. They're testing mobile carbon capture systems for trucks, experimenting with direct air capture, developing carbon fiber and circular polymer materials, and investing in nature-based solutions like planting millions of mangroves along Saudi coastlines to absorb CO2. It's not just about switching fuels, it's about transforming how the entire company produces, moves, and uses energy. Aramco's pivot isn't charity, it's necessity. Global markets are changing, investors are divesting from oil-only assets, climate regulations are tightening, and buyers increasingly want cleaner supply chains. And as Saudi Arabia pushes its Vision 2030 diversification plan, Aramco's green investments align perfectly with national goals. Critics might call it greenwashing, but it's also survival. Of course, there's a catch. Aramco remains one of the world's largest carbon emitters. Its renewable projects, while real, are tiny compared to its oil expansion plans, and most of its net zero goals only cover direct operations, not the emissions from burning the oil it sells known as Scope 3. For context, Aramco plans to invest nearly $50 billion a year to maintain and expand oil production. By comparison, its renewable and low-carbon projects account for only a few billion annually. So while the shift is real, it's still small in proportion. That imbalance has led some analysts to say Aramco isn't transforming yet. It's hedging its bets. building capacity in renewables while still doubling down on oil's final boom years. So yes, Aramco is reducing its own footprint, but the downstream impact of its products remains enormous. No oil company can turn green overnight, but when a company the size of Aramco invests even a fraction of its profits into renewables, it can move markets. Their money and scale can accelerate innovation, from hydrogen to carbon capture, and help build the infrastructure the world needs for a cleaner future. The irony? The oil giant that fueled the past century might just help power the next one. But here's why Aramco's actions matter far beyond Saudi Arabia. If a company this large can decarbonize its supply chain, scale hydrogen exports, and make oil cleaner, it sets a precedent for others. Emerging economies could benefit from Saudi technology transfers, carbon capture partnerships, and financing tools that make clean energy more bankable. In other words, Aramco's transition, if successful, could accelerate the world's transition. Although Aramco's renewable push raises a big question, is this a real transformation, or simply a calculated evolution to stay profitable in a decarbonizing world? Either way, one thing is clear. The energy transition isn't just coming from startups anymore. Aramco may have been the brain of the oil era, but can it become the heart of a renewable one? What do you think? Is Aramco leading the change or just following it? Drop a comment below.